So, hello everyone, hello fellow students, hello teacher. I hope that everybody is good, despite this COVID-19 crisis that we're dealing with right now. And I just want to take a moment to wish everybody health and, safety during the holiday season. So, I'm just going to jump in with the story, the moment that changed my life and my perspective on many things. So, it actually happened in 2010. I was 8 years old and I was in the third grade. And just a little bit of a backstory: as a child, I was really, bubbly. I was always fun, making new friends. I was always, loud, talked too much, and laughed way too hard. And I was that type of child when I was growing up. And I really loved that about myself, that, as a kid, I was just really outgoing. And also something, when I was a child, I was really spoiled. Like my mother, I really love my mother and my father, but they really spoiled me rotten. And even till this day, my mother tells me, really, I spoiled you too much. Like they would just buy me everything that I wanted. They always bought me new technology. Like it was just, I was just so spoiled because they had me really late in their lives, and they had this little baby, and they really did spoil me. And this goes hand in hand with the story. So the moment happened, it was just a regular week. I just came home from school. I was always like this happy duper kid, and I came home and I had like this icky feeling in my throat. So I immediately told my mom, and she was like freaking out. She gave me honey, she gave me tea, and I didn't feel better. And the next day, I remember it was Saturday, and I woke up and my throat was, I'm not even kidding, this big. Like it was swollen up to here. It was red, patchy. It was really itchy. And I woke up and I remember looking in the mirror and I was like, I didn't even recognize myself. So I fell into a major depression. I was like, I remember saying to my mother, oh my God, who is gonna love me? I'm ugly. I'm just ugly. I look disgusting. I look like Shrek. I look like a freaking frog. I remember saying that. I was just so sad, and it really hit my self-esteem. And it was the first time in my life that I felt, as a child, everything is exaggerated. So I was like really feeling like I was gonna die. And I remember that day when my mother saw me like this, she immediately brought me to the hospital. And my father, was with us also. And I'm just telling you, I couldn't even eat. So like to swallow, it was really difficult to swallow. So I don't know what was happening. So I saw the doctor like 2 hours. We waited like 2 hours, and we saw immediately a doctor, and he did the test, and he said, you have a major infection in your throat. It is actually, you have 2 cysts. And if you don't know what a cyst is, it's like a bacteria that's get really hard, like hardens. And I had actually 2 in my throat. So I had like one here and like one here. So just to have one, so that's how much I had like bad luck. You didn't even have one. It's really hard to get one, but I had 2. So that's just crazy. So I had 2 in my throat, and that's why the throat was really, really swelled up. And it, like I said, it really hit my self-esteem. I was crying all the time. I was like, oh my God, I'm ugly. I'm ugly. Like that's all I was thinking of. And the doctor immediately told me, oh, like tonight you're going into surgery. And I didn't even know what surgery was at that age. I never went to the hospital. So it was really mind-blowing to me. And I remember like crying to my mother, like, Mom, am I gonna die? Like I was like, what is happening? And she was really stressed. My father was stressed. They didn't want me to go to surgery, but it had to be done. So I went in. I did my prayer. My mom, both of my parents prayed over me, and I went in, and I woke up 2 hours later. This was at the Saint Justine Hospital here in Montreal. And I woke up 2 hours later, and the pain was, oh my God, the pain was just really brutal. All over my neck, all of my neck was numb. The pain was just really hard, and I couldn't even like open my mouth. I couldn't even have the strength to open my mouth. Everything felt just really tight. And I really had that moment in my head, like, this is when I'm gonna die. Like, this is my goodbye. And like the nurses were there, and I was just crying. Remember, just crying. I couldn't even open my mouth to like make sounds. And they gave me immediately an oxygen mask, so that really helped me a lot. They gave me an oxygen mask. So just to close up the story, they removed the 2 cysts. Everything, the surgery went really well, and I stayed hospitalized for 1 month. So yes, that was really traumatic. Like, I couldn't even walk. I had to be connected to, they pinched me here, and I had to be connected to like a blood bag that was taking my blood. And I couldn't even like walk. I had to stay in bed rest for like 4 weeks. I couldn't even eat by myself. Somebody had to feed me the food. It was really hard to swallow, and it was just, it was just a really depressing time in my life. And it really humbled me because I was so entitled as a child. I like wanted everything, and my parents really gave it to me. And that whole experience, being in the hospital and not even being able to do and to be just a regular kid like everybody else, really, really brought me down to earth. And really, I was really just grateful and thankful that for the life that I had before and the life that I had after. And also, the thing that I really find cool is that it really brought my mother and I really closer, because my mother actually took off all of the months of her work just to stay with me every single night. And our relationship really became really more close after that experience. So leaving the hospital, I was like just I was a new person. I was just so grateful for everything. And the object that I'm gonna show you guys is actually my scar. It's here in my neck, you can see it. And so yeah, they really cut here. And actually I had the option to remove the scar, but I decided not to do it. Like, even my mother told me, oh, as a gift, I want to do the laser. I'm gonna pay you the laser treatment to remove your scar. And actually, as an 8-year-old, I said no, and that I wanted to keep it. And I wanted to keep it to show really what I've been through and my strength. And even to this day, a lot of people ask me, what happened with that scar. And it really humbles me. Like, every time I touch it, sometimes when I'm stressed, when I'm in situations, I just touch it, and it really humbles me and brings me back to earth. So it just is a reminder, a constant reminder. There's a lot of people suffering. There's children, I was only 8 years old. There's a lot of children suffering, and that we really do need to appreciate just the little things in life, and that we take so much for granted. And I'm just grateful that even though it was really traumatic, I'm grateful that I had that moment in my life to really bring me down and to really see and be grateful for what I had. So that was the story. So I would just want to thank you guys so much for listening and wish you a good rest of the week. Thank you.